With the 2024 season on the horizon, loaded with new challenges and adventures, it's time to take a look back at what was the very definition of a roller coaster year. There's no more excuses. We got to get in the stand as early as possible, stay as long as possible.
I don't know where he went. That was a really, really good buck.
We just gotta hope, with our fingers crossed, that we're ready to get on those bucks that are gonna be running.
The best case scenario is it ends today. Get ourselves a Halloween buck.
As always, the story never begins in the fall. We must go back to the spring, where our food plot journey begins. This season, we apply everything we had learned through experience beforehand. We start the year with a spring kill to set the table for our July planting. However, no matter how meticulous you might be, Mother Nature will always have the ultimate say in your success. All right, so we got most of the spraying done, like 99% of it. I had covered 1, 2, 3, 4 food plots. Our process here, it's pretty straightforward. You can do it a few different ways, but this year I'm starting again in May. Our best year of food plots was 2 years ago, and it's when we did this spring kill. So that's what we're doing again this year. I backed up, it was May 6th. Well, the 6th, the 7th, the 8th, the 9th are all like 65 to 70% rain. And then after that, it's a bunch of 50-50s. So instead of pushing it off, forward a week, I am backing up a few days. We got 2 dry days. Today and tomorrow are dry. We're gonna get these food plots sprayed with 2 chemicals. 1 quart per acre of glyphosate. That's gonna kill anything that is starting to grow right now. It's gonna instantly kill anything that is trying to pop up. And then a pint per acre of 2,4-D. 2,4-D is going to stay in the ground and make sure that nothing grows over the next 2 weeks. Anything that starts to grow in the next 2 weeks is going to be killed by the 2,4-D. So these 2 chemicals combined, you're going to get a kill off immediately, and then that 2,4-D stays in the ground. The long-term plan for these food plots... After our food plot prep work is finished, a few weeks go by and our buckwheat gets planted. We patiently and quietly wait out our dry spring and summer and slowly count down the days to late July. That is always our target time frame to plant our favorite brassica blends. With the weather playing a crucial role in no-till planting, plans must be fluid. We finally get rain in the forecast and we get to hit the woods on July 27th. Welcome back everyone to another episode. Today, it's time to get excited for hunting season. We are out doing food plots. The buckwheat did not take this year. We got like 20 plants total. The first time I ever had a buckwheat failure, it was ate off by the deer. You can see all the plants. This year, I think the drought got to us here in Wisconsin. I planted with some rain, but man, it's been a very dry summer. Speaking of a dry summer, we have 1 inch of rain coming tonight, and that is why I woke up this morning, checked the weather, and I ran to the seed store and got myself a brassica blend, and we're on the food plots today. So, if you've ever seen my food plot videos before, we start all the way back in the spring, we spray. 4 weeks later, we plant buckwheat, and then 8 to 12 weeks after that, we come out, we plant our fall food plots. And that is what we're doing today. So today we got a brassica blend. We're covering about 5 pounds an acre. And we are going over that with a roller and 1 pint per acre of glyphosate. But it's also the hottest day of the year out today. And we are sweating, we already started. But so we're almost done with our first goal today. With the rain moving in just a little faster than expected, our checklist continues to shrink. Food plots planted, shooting lanes cut, box blind built, and other land management taken care of. Our trail cameras are moved and charged. We also take a day after the rains to get trail cameras out on a few different chunks of public land around the county. The lack of current velvet targets on private, we hope to find a mature buck somewhere to go after. I know our private land will produce a mature buck or two, but none of them call the small 20 acres home. As we scout and prepare, the countdown to opening day continues. It's time to turn our sights to some good old-fashioned practice. A few of us have a friendly bow shootout in the backyard on September 9th.
Alright. Setting the bar kind of high there.
And it all comes down to this. In the final round, after 2 shots, Jason and I are tied, 5-5. Closest to the heart on the final shot at 40 yards is the winner. Oh, that's how I lost my arrow too.
When it mattered, choked.
6 inches for a 0. Let's go. I'm the victor this year, even though the victors from last year aren't here. But I barely won though. 5-7. As the calendar continues to tick away, we are just sitting patiently at the mercy of Mother Nature and the elusive whitetail. We stress over our phones, just hoping to see a giant pop up on a cell camera picture. We pray the frost holds off and the food plots can continue to grow. Day by day flies by, and before we know it, bow opener in Wisconsin is upon us. For the first time ever, we decide to forego the opening day sit. Instead, I head out to do a bit of tinkering on our property, and a few cameras need attention. I also take a minute to show you all the food plot progress that we've gained throughout the year. Box elder bugs all over my camera. I don't even know how to fix that, but put some soap on it. I think soap gets rid of box elder bugs. I don't know. Either way, I gotta pull that cell link off, put a new one on, and make a decision on that thing now. That's weird. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I just took that camera off that tree for now. Get some home defense, some bug spray, and come back, put it there when I want it on that scrape post. But for now, I just followed the trail in, made another scrape on the ground, and put it on a different tree for now. But we'll give you a good quick food plot update. I had mentioned, maybe in the last episode or during this episode, when I planted too close to the rain, so I think a lot of my weed killer got washed. Like we sprayed, as we were spraying, it was starting to sprinkle, then it rained. So I don't know if the weed killer, rinsed off or just didn't work well, but these plots are very weedy, except there's still plenty of plants. They're just kind of in bunches and they're kind of within the weeds. So I know they're not going to grow as good as they have in the past. So you can't even tell there's much brassica in here. But if you get close, you can see there are plenty. There's all kinds of bunches like this here. I mean, I'd say that's some pretty good growth. Look at the size of that thing. Like I said, they're growing good out here, and there is a lot of plants. But like right now, you can't see. Look at all these tall weeds. You guys can't see any brassicas over here. But if we go over here, we got tons of plants growing, giant bulbs all throughout down here. It's definitely not a pretty plot, but it's going to be a functional plot, I'll tell you that much. This is probably the most disappointing plot. This is one of my favorites. It's really deep and hidden into the back of the property. It's really thick all the way around it. We've had some pretty good success out here seeing deer. I've had some really good trail cameras just off this plot. But no brassicas took well across the whole thing. Once again, there's some pretty good bunches in a couple of spots. I think where the water probably pooled on the day we got rain, those seeds. But I mean, the green you see here, that's clover. It's not weeds in here, which is incredible. I mean, this whole plot look like that 2 years ago, and now we got it opened up. So this is definitely a plot that the first year we put it in, it was hammered down all the way through January. The deer were in here. They just feel so safe in here because it's just completely surrounded by really thick, heavy, dense woods with a couple of trails that come out on it. So it's definitely my favorite plot on the property as far as, you know, deer feeling safe on it. So next year we just got to do a better job of planting out here, time it a little better. You know, it is what it is. That's the hard part, right, everyone? Like, that's the really hard part of this whole hunting thing we do. And, you know, I don't know if I've expressed it on this channel before, but like, hunting is such an incredibly difficult sport to master because it takes a whole year. We tried something on this plot. It failed. We did a little recovery on it, but mostly it failed. And now we have to wait till next year. You get one shot. Same with, you got one target buck running around your property. You have to be as prepared as possible for the day that he gives you your one shot. That everything is right. Because if you make a mistake, it's a whole nother year before you get to learn and move on from that mistake. You got to carry it with you all year. You can't get discouraged. It's what makes it fun. It's what makes it so rewarding. Just it makes it so rewarding to have to execute, or otherwise you're set behind an entire year. But either way, I got to get one more camera up. I got to change one more set of batteries, and then we're out of the property. And this will be the last time I go driving around, stomping around through the property during the season. It's technically opening day today. I don't know if I had said that already, but
the challenge is definitely what makes the success that much sweeter. But now, with our food plots continually growing, our trail cameras set, we finally see a familiar rack in the woods. Marilyn shot a buck in 2022 that survived, and he has finally shown back up on the property and continues to show up more often. That is a sight that gets us excited. We finally officially start our season in the next episode of The Debrief.